Hello there, lovely people. This is me, Ashley, here, sending my love to you from whatever reality I'm in today to whatever reality you find yourself in. Well, yep, this is a bit of a strange one today. You wouldn't have thought that the title of this video could even be possible, would you? So let me explain. When I first found out rather that I was Mandela affected, it was after praying. I prayed that God show me a sign, and eventually I clicked on the Mandela Effect video, one of Brian Staveley's actually. And from there on in, I realised I wasn't on my own and went into the kind of thing I'm sure we all go through, which is desperately searching for answers. I mean, we find ourselves becoming quite fluent in things about deep wave computers and the holographic universe and things that we'd never even thought about talking about before. We suddenly know quite a lot about because we investigate so much. We're that desperate to find out what the frig is going on with us that not that we're actually experts, but we learn enough about all kinds of different avenues of information, sharing it with each other in a desperate attempt to try and find out what's happening. Well, after praying yet again, because I do quite regularly, please show me what you want me to see, God began putting things in front of me. Well, he didn't begin because he's been doing it all along. It's just whether you see it or not, isn't it? Anyway, after praying, I was shown the Hopi blue and red Kachina prophecy. And that blew my mind because it's all about reality changing. It's all about the end of days, the beginning of the new age, and what happens. And it's pretty much, well, it is exactly what we go through. Exactly what we are going through right now, reality changing. It says that there'll be people that look like they have no life force in their eyes. There will be people walking around with nothing inside them. There will be people walking around with more than one entity inside them. Reality will be changing in front of our very eyes. I mean, it's unreal. The actual blue and red Hopi Kachina prophecy is unreal, and it's exactly what we're going through. But God doesn't reveal everything all at once in a great big lump to you, does he? So we get snippets. So that was my very first snippet, was the introduction to the Hopi blue and red Kachina and the reality changes. The second video that I got was about reality changes, but it also discussed like a portal that people were taken through from the third world to the fourth world. And the fourth world is the one that we're just coming out of. And we know that we are because we can see the geography changing before our eyes. You know, we can see that this is not our world. Whether you came from the Sagittarius or not, the map is not the same. The countries aren't the same shape. My own country isn't the same shape. So we know we're moving into a different world. And it explained in that video about the change of reality it's literally about moving from one world to the next. And last time it happened, it was from the third world to the fourth. And the Hopi wrote it all down. Now, we're the ones that are remembering that time now. We're the ones that have to be writing it all down. Or should we? Because we're coming to end times. And the Hopi prophecy is explaining end times perfectly. It's going to take... I can't go live. And this is a very long subject. And this is my second attempt at making it because the first one I made was like nearly 23 minutes long. And, on a phone, YouTube aren't going to upload it. So the very first one was showing you about the reality changes. The second one was explaining how the people were taken from the third world to the fourth world via a portal of some sort. The next video that I saw was explaining the Hopi rock, their prophecy rock. And there's two lines. The first line is, well, it's pretty much what's going on today. It's about the material world. It's about the selfishness, the not being in tune with the land and the cycles of the earth and the seasons, and the fact that we've lost our connection to the earth and to spirit, i.e. God. And that if we don't stop on this terrible, terrible path, then it will lead to utter destruction of mankind via, there'll be two men. At the end of this line, there's two men. The first one is an evil man that brings destruction and terror and fear. And I'm thinking, oh, that sounds exactly like the Antichrist. Whoa, that's incredible. They're talking about that sounds like the Antichrist. And then they said that the second man will come along and he will make things better again. And I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly like Jesus. Now, I'm accepting all of this, but without any personal connection. Those of you who have watched my last two videos will have seen my spiritual battle and how I am no longer a backsliding Christian, and that Jesus spoke to me. Jesus spoke to me in a most amazing way. But these are the ways that he's been trying to show me and reveal himself to me, with me just accepting it, because I've studied so much before becoming Mandela affected, before all of this shit started to happen to us. I investigated so many things. I was so into ancient civilizations and comparative religion, and I could see that Christianity had been messed about with from its conception, really, from instantly that Jesus died. I think it's been messed about with, and it was man, corrupt man, that decided when we were going to have all the different celebrations. And so they went along and just plonked Christianity over the top of paganism, and that troubled me, and it really did trouble me. So I've just spent the best part of the last 40 years distancing myself from Christianity and Jesus. And in fact, although I never stopped believing in God, I wasn't turning to him anymore. So eventually, I didn't find Christianity through the Hopi prophecy, but Jesus very much did try to show me through the Hopi prophecy. So that was the top line. Hang about, where are we? Yeah, I'm all right for time still. I'm just checking. I can't see. I'm squinting. I'm racing. I'm trying to race through it now. So please bear with me. Yeah. So that whole video, like, I was just being really accepting of it. Yeah. Jesus is coming back, and because, as I've explained before, I actually got my personal connection to God back through Islam, and I'll say this now with no disrespect to anybody, but first of all, Muslims are waiting for Jesus, the same Jesus. Isa is just Jesus in Arabic. They believe in the same God. They don't just believe in the same God. Allah is just God in Arabic. Arabic Christians say Allah. Please understand that. The Mandela Effect is not being caused by Islam. They are waiting for the return of Jesus, the Messiah. So looking into Islam reconnected me with God, but it didn't give me my personal connection to Jesus, which, as I said, he's been desperately trying to show me. So I'm accepting this. Yes, it's saying even the Hopi prophecies are talking about Jesus and the Antichrist. But I'm still not getting it. I'm still not feeling any connection. And then I again prayed again, and God revealed again more of the Hopi prophecy. And this time he showed me, he revealed the fact that on their prophecy stone at the bottom there's a depiction of like a figure with a rod, staff, pointing up towards the top line. Now this is Massa, the creator God, the creator. And the Hopi say that no matter what you call the creator, it's still the same creator. And he points up, and he's pointing to the first man on the top line. And he says, the man, the Hopi Indian who's explaining, he says that this is the creator God giving man the tablets. He said this is God giving the Jewish people their 10 commandments. Now, there are 4 tablets. We only know about one of them because it's the one that it's our tablet. It's the one that we know. That's our tablet. And so he says that you can see there, he's straight away saying this is the link to Judaism, which is something I've talked about all along, isn't it? So there's the link to Judaism, and then he goes on to say about the second line. Now, this is where it gets really crazy, because the second line is very empty, and then partway, right virtually just before the end, there's a line between the two, top and bottom. That's the convergent line. That's where the people on the top line get the chance to change their ways and go to the bottom line. Now, we're at that point now. The Hopi Indian who is explaining everything told us within this, we're at that point in time now. I'm sorry, it's going a bit dark out there, so you can barely see me. I'm still here. Excuse me, sorry. Anyway, so we're at that convergent line now, where we get the chance to leave the way of the top line, which is about materialism, it's about selfishness, and to move. Now, what happens then on the bottom line is that, and he said it quite categorically, is that Jesus comes and leads us to the fifth and forever world. Do you know what I mean? That's what happens on the bottom line, that it converges. And after that, Jesus comes and takes us to the forever world, the fifth and forever world. I mean, come on. If you can't see how amazing that is. I mean, I was amazed by it. I thought it was fantastic. Still didn't have my personal connection. But I found it, I mean, that is fascinating. The Hopi prophecy states that Jesus will be coming and that we're at that point in time of the convergence of the two lines. And it's entirely up to each individual one of us which path we take. We can choose to come off that top line. And it doesn't say that you have to be saved in the Hopi prophecy. It just said you have to change your ways. You have to think less of material things, less of, less of selfish ways, more compassion, getting in tune with the earth, living a more simple life. And then Jesus will take us from the fourth to the fifth world. So are we on the divergent line, people? Is that what that means? Are we on the divergent line? I think maybe we are. What an amazing revelation over a number of different videos. And yet I still didn't have a personal connection to God. I mean, he was trying so hard. He was trying so hard to show me the truth. I got it eventually. It did take me a long while, and Jesus literally did have to smack me up the face with a wet fish. But I hear the message now. But I just wanted to share that amazing fact that the Hopi prophecy of end times ends with Jesus leading us to the fifth world. Food for thought, people. Very much food for thought. Let me know what you think, please, and I will drop the links to the videos I'm talking about down below. In the meantime, thank you all so much for praying for me. Thank you to the EYA community, little family community, for all of your prayers. You know yourselves what I've been through over this past few weeks, especially from the Easter weekend. So thank you all for your prayers. You were heard, and a message was very much sent to me. So thank you all so much, and for everybody that cares and supports me. Thank you so much. I really couldn't do it without you. I'd be lost, completely lost without all of you guys. You keep my sanity, which is hanging by a thread, still hanging by a thread. So until next time, and before it goes completely dark, I love you all as always.